you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. And I work with people long enough to see that the biggest problem in this getting better process is people themselves. It's what they've got there. If someone is not open, if someone is stuck in their ways, if someone knows everything already out there in the world, I know how to do things. If someone is don't care, the person believes that he or she doesn't care, which is never true. You just, this is what you think is true, but it's not. I don't care. I don't mind. If the person doesn't want to see the truth of themselves, their lives, what's around, no one will ever change anything. In my practice, it is not the biggest challenge to overcome the physical body, muscles, fat tissue, organs, whatnot, problems. No, it is the mind.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Outsider. My name is Mattia and I'm your host. Today I sat with Pat. She is from Poland and she's a physiotherapist, a massage therapist, a health coach and much more. She adopts a natural living way of life, and this will make sense as you listen to her talk and explain things. I was really fascinated by it, and I genuinely think that it was one of the best conversations I've ever had with someone. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it too. Let's get into it.
We live on planet Earth, and this planet Earth is in our galaxy, and we've got this central star, the sun. And everything that is happening on the planet is related to the sun. Okay, sun is this main source of energy. Sun provides energy to our planet through this electromagnetic field, through sun rays, and everything that is going on the planet. So seasons, basically, the whole nature rhythms, all of it is dependent on the sun. Sun dictates all that. So circadian rhythms are rhythms that happen in nature, in plants, animals, humans, are rhythms dependent on the sun. So we will have seasons like winter, spring, summer, autumn. Of course, there are different seasons on different latitude on our Earth.
Yeah.
With that, different things are happening and going on in plants, in the environment, in plants, and then in animals. Let's say they shed fur, right? Or they gain fur, they go to hibernation, things like that. So different things are happening. So this is what dictates this is what the circadian rhythms are.
Okay.
So, for example, as people, we might not appreciate, or most people just don't know, that we've got daily rhythms, okay? You've got different hormones coming on at different times of day and night, and then they also change with seasons. So we are not like bears. They go to hibernation. We don't get to like a full-on hibernation, but here in UK there is cold season, winter. So we've got like a warm months mode, and we've got cold months mode within our bodies.
Okay.
So circadian rhythms would be rhythms of biological rhythms in living things dependent on the sun that dictates seasons, length of day, amount of sun, strength of the sun, the temperature, etc.
So how does this connect to the conversation that Huberman and this doctor?
Okay, so there is a lot of complicated concepts and things to understand if it comes to our biology, not only our, but also plants and animals. And Dr. Jack Kruse was pointing at different things. Right now, I just don't remember exactly what they were because I was listening to it like a year or maybe even a year and a half ago when it came out. So I really don't remember. But for example, let's just say that he was explaining something about a leptin or maybe about our evolution and about inner workings of our brains and hormones. And there was a lot of things that Andrew Huberman just didn't know about. I think he got a little bit deeper into circadian rhythm, circadian biology, into light, into this whole topic of health and light. Okay, so I think he got a little bit deeper into that. But I think there are things that he will not say because of conflict of interests.
Okay, so that's why you don't really like him, basically.
Yes, because he's so well known. He's much more well known than Dr. Jack Kruse, which is so weird. But I understand it, why it is. So he's so well known. His podcast is huge.
Yeah.
So if he would team up with Dr. Jack Kruse to put out Jack Kruse's message, which is so important because most of people are just sick, basically, and we are heading down as a humanity. We are heading down with our health. So if he teamed up with Dr. Jack Kruse, the message would go out better to population. That's why I'm like.
I understand you. By the way, this is all fascinating to me. Like, I didn't know about this.
Can I?
Yeah, carry on. So, what was I saying?
That you understand.
I understand, and like I said, it's really fascinating to me. How does this relate to your work?
What exactly? How does it?
This Professor Jack.
Okay, a lot.
Okay, can you explain it to me, because I am ignorant and I really.
Okay, I'll try.
What you just said to me about the
circadian biology.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you noticed, I was looking at you like that because it really fascinates me, especially when you say about the sun, and then I picture.
So before I'll answer this, let me just quickly go back to the circadian biology so you understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
So right now we've got end of September. So October comes, we officially have autumn started, right? So we've got autumn and then winter will come. The winter is coming.
Yeah.
With that, when winter comes, even autumn, what people like to do, they like to put the heating up in their houses. They like to cook this comfort food, hot stews, hot parsnip soups, hot chocolate, things like that. I already see people wearing really warm jackets. So in my mind, they are winter jackets, but people already wear them. So if it comes to circadian biology, they are doing opposite things that what they are supposed to do. What it means. In winter, before civilization, when we were hunters and gatherers, we would live out in nature, we would experience winter, right? So we were evolving for very, very, very long time. They argue. Some say that our evolution is anything in between from 2.5 to 4.5 millions of years, right? Where the Homo sapiens comes at around, they also argue, 300,000, 500,000 years ago. So it's a very long time, let's say 2.5 millions of years. And then agriculture starts at around, they say 12 to 8, in between 12 to 18,000 years ago, around 15,000 years ago. With that, we settle and we start to separate from nature more and more, right? We start cities, build houses, so we don't live out in nature as much anymore. And if you look at us right now, most of the people, they spend about 95% of their time indoors. So with that, they don't experience in autumn and winter, and even summer, to be honest with you, they don't experience through their skin and through their eyes a true nature's temperature. They don't experience the sun coming onto their skin and through their eyes into the brain to give an information to our insides, to tell our insides what season we've got right now. So by in autumn or winter, by wearing warm clothes, staying in warm rooms, drinking warm or hot chocolates and hot soups made of products belonging to summer, because we've got refrigeration, we've got supermarkets, whatnot, we are sending to our body mismatched information, wrong information. We are telling our body that it's summer. Okay? Where in our bodies we've got different systems, and there is a thing called cold adaptation, for example. So if in winter, instead of straight away wearing hot jackets, thick jackets, if we actually underdress ourselves to experience the cold, okay, and if we eat nutrition appropriate or according to the season, so for example, in December, there is no bananas in UK out in nature, right? If we in December eat a banana in UK, we are giving our body a wrong information and we create chaos in our bodies.
That would be really hard for me because I love a banana in the morning before going to training.
I know.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I hear you. But once the person starts to think about it, first of all, once the person is open, without this little bit, no one will be interested or curious about anything, and no one will give time to think about someone else's point of view or opinion or ideas, because they just don't care. They just don't care, basically. But if someone is interested, curious, and has a bit of open mind, and spend time digging into the topic, then one might find a completely new world of new ideas, and then there is a chance that this person will understand it. When you truly understand it, you will not have banana before your gym work, because you will ask yourself a question: why am I going to the gym? Right? Most people go to the gym because they want to be healthy. That's one. A lot of people, they want to look well, right? They want to maybe a six-pack or some muscles.
Not me.
So healthy, look good or better. And also a lot of people, maybe older people especially, they want to be able to do things. Right now you are young, so you don't appreciate it, your abilities. You can do anything. Where some people, when they're in their 70s, 80s, they struggle with, for example, going onto floor to play with the children, grandchildren, and then get up, or they can't lift this arm to reach for a sugar on shelves anymore. They can't go for a walk anymore. I have clients like that. So the third group of why I go to the gym would be I want to be able to do this or that. So you've got this goal in mind when you go to the gym. And most of the time, at the base of that goal is healthy tissues, is healthy, mainly, not only, but for the sake of trying to explain that to you, I would say mainly muscles. Okay?
I see what you mean.
So if you want to do things right, you would need to do it according to nature. And if you would do that, if you would give it a chance, it would need to be a longer period of time, because the body needs to adapt to things. I can explain later what it is, for example, fat adaptation. Anyway, but if you would give it a chance, this no banana morning, going to the gym and doing other things right, you could find, and I could bet you would, that your workout is much better.
By the way, I just want to rephrase it. I don't eat before I train. I always eat after. I don't know if this is going to make you even...
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Eating banana in UK in winter is just not understanding.
I understand your point. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Basically, you're saying that the banana shouldn't exist in winter. So by eating it, my body is thinking, oh, okay, because we're having this food, it means that we're around this season.
Yes.
And thus, that's what gets me. And I'm really curious. Just carry on, because I know that you have more, probably.
So tell me, please, because I think I was supposed to say something about Jack Cruz. Right?
Yeah, you were connecting your work with his. And
so let me quickly finish this whole thing, or not finish, but say a few more things about this circadian biology and health. So I was just giving you examples of winter.
Yeah.
But there is also summer. And in summer, we should be out as well as in winter. And we should be experiencing the temperature, the light, mainly, and of course the season appropriate nutrition. And no one does. People have gardens, but most of those gardens are just empty most of the time. And when people go out in summer, they put their hat, they put the sunglasses, which are very suboptimal, and they put the UV blockers.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
I'm always having not arguments, but always having discussions with my partner, Hannah. She's very pro creams and UV blockers. And my argument is the same as yours. And I have never studied that. I'm Italian, so I've always been out in the sun. I don't like the heat too much. I don't like to be too hot, but I like the sun. I like receiving this, like, when you go out and you're like, you feel it, right? She's arguing that burning your skin will give you skin cancer and things like that. So she's always saying you must put your cream on, your cream on, this and that. And I'm like, if it's like 40 degrees outside, okay, I can put some because I don't want to get like 2nd degree sunburn. But at the same time, if I'm going out on a nice day, I don't want to have cream on my face or anything. I just want to have the sun. So What do you think about that?
Okay.
What do you think about creams, especially, and UV blockers? And
They are no good.
okay.
No, but nothing is black and white. So she's somewhat right.
Okay.
So if you've got a average person, average Joe, and he spends most of his time indoors, at the desk or computer screens, whatnot, his nutrition is out of whack. His omega-6 to omega-3 ratios is completely out. I'll go back to that. And he doesn't do any morning sun exposure, so-called priming, to receive stronger UVB midday, this sort of thing. And this person goes to holiday mid-June to Ibiza, and this person decides to spend all day on the beach, then yes, I think this is the time to use a bit of sunscreen, because this person will burn, because this person throughout their whole year didn't experience sun at all. And the omega-6 to omega-3 ratios are out of whack, out of balance. But we should not aim for that. So you are very right. We should have as much sun exposure as we can. We need to be sensible about it and how to not burn. There is few things that we can do. First of all, we need to fix our nutrition, which is we should avoid seed oils, omega-6s, and we should have omega-3 rich foods on the regular basis, minimum 3 times per day, better 5, or like Japanese on a daily basis.
Can you name a few of these foods that you are...
Any kind of seafood. You've got mussels, oysters, fish, sardines, mackerel, cod, salmon.
What would you suggest for someone who doesn't like fish?
I would suggest, block your nose and just eat fish. That's a very good point. Let me say something about that. When I lived in Poland, when I was younger, I don't remember so many people saying, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that. So fussy and picky and all that. I just don't remember any of that. I think if you'd go to, Africa or some places like that, and you show them, a steak or a fish, I don't think there'll be a person that will tell you, I don't like fish. When I came to UK, this was one of the things I noticed. Everyone is so picky, so choosy. I've heard about a guy, my friend's friend, who didn't like garden peas because it's round and green. So when I have a mature masculine male telling me, oh, Pat, I wouldn't have fish because I don't like it, I'm like, just get on with it and just eat it because it's good for you.
I want to circle back to what you were saying before. The last thing about this is I asked you this because, again, my partner doesn't like anything. She is so picky.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I like a lot of things. I like pretty much everything I eat. Yeah. There's no many things I don't like. Like, on top of my head right now, I can't think of anything I don't really like. Genuinely. But that's why I asked you this question, to see if there's any other food that people like her would eat.
Supplements are suboptimal. And there was... so, of course, you have people telling you, yes, go and get an omega-3 supplement. As far as I know... a lot of it is rancid, so it's not, and it's never the same as from whole food. All of us know that we should eat whole foods. Anything processed is processed or ultra processed.
So obviously you talked about fish and mussels and things like that, but most of them are from farms as well, right?
So I'm trying to buy still, and I'm able to, not always fresh, sometimes frozen, but I prefer that. I buy line cod cod or salmon, and the sardines and mackerel. I'm pretty sure is not farmed. Yeah, it is a bit of a problem, but I still think farmed fish is better than supplement.
Okay.
And
Sorry, yeah.
Quickly on the foods that we don't like. My whole life, I didn't like meat, and I hated liver. I just couldn't put liver in my mouth. I hated my whole life. But through my education, I learned that I ought to have a bit of liver on a regular basis. So I just started to forcing myself to eat it for my health. I prefer liver than supplements. Okay? Because liver is one of the most dense foods in nutrients on the planet.
I love internal
It's like
organs,
seafood like oysters, mussels. These are just and eggs. Although some people are sensitive to eggs.
What do you mean, raw or cooked?
You can have raw. I've got raw yolk.
I don't know if I could. That's one thing. There is. I don't know if I could have raw egg.
I've heard that in Italy you've got this dessert similar to Polish dessert. We take egg yolk. We add, so I don't anymore, but we would add a bit of sugar, and you, what's the word? You blend it, you froth it, and you just eat it. It's lovely.
I don't know.
One of my Italian friends said that he knows it.
I don't know. Every region in Italy is slightly different. So I'm entirely possible. I'm not aware of it.
But look, no, you can have cooked eggs, right? Scrambled egg, hard-boiled egg, etc. But if someone wanted to have a raw egg because of this or that, you can put it into shake. I don't know. You can mix it with things.
The nutritional value doesn't change cooked or raw, right? Or does it?
I don't know exactly how much, but I'm sure it does. We've got process here. We've got cooking, right?
But in some cases, the cooking will bring more nutritional value to us to certain foods, right?
Especially in foods that I don't want to eat. That we, for example, beans and nuts. Loads of anti-nutrients. Nuts, very, very difficult to digest.
Really?
Yes. Without processes like soaking overnight and very long cooking, ideally in a pressure cooker, you would still have a lot of anti-nutrients, and through those processes you remove some of them, so you are making this food a little bit more accessible for nurturing your body, for accessing the nutrition within them. Yes, so for example, cooking of the liver, I'm pretty sure that the more you cook the liver, the less vitamin C you will have.
Okay.
And so right now I eat raw liver.
Okay.
So going back to my liver experience, I started with, first year I was eating this liver by marinating it in soy sauce and something else, can't remember. And then I would cook a lot of onion and bacon and a bit of ketchup, maybe, tiny bit. And this is how I would start eating the liver. But with time, with months, I was using less and less marinade. Then I would just fry it. I would just fry it on the pan. It would be well done. Then I would fry it in a way where inside is raw. And now I don't cook it at all. I just eat it raw with salt.
Mm.
So I think if someone wants to do something for health, there are ways to achieve it.
Yeah.
And going back to this sun exposure and skin. So let's say a person fixed the nutrition. The person has correct omega-3 to omega-6 ratios inside of the body. This person already will not burn the skin as much. That's one. If the person is, the whole nutrition is according to seasons, that is, you don't have carbohydrates in autumn, winter, spring. You have very little carbohydrates. You are close to ketogenic nutrition.
Okay.
Because that's what would be available in nature, let's say 100,000 years ago. There was no bread, there was no pasta, there was no bananas available in winter. And this is how our bodies evolved, and this is what our bodies expect to receive in winter at the time when the body is experiencing cold through skin and the autumn winter sun weaker light.
Yeah.
So if the person is eating correct nutrition according to nature, not to me, throughout the whole year, omega-3 to omega-6s, and also this person is doing so-called solar callus, growing a solar callus, which means that you expose yourself to the sun throughout the whole year, right? You prioritize the sun. And when the sun becomes stronger, mid-March, when we start to have the UVB coming again into our latitude, because we lose it for winter, that's why we don't produce vitamin D3 in winter, right? So when this person starts to expose herself to sun from March, but actually we should do it in winter as well. In the morning, to experience for our bodies, for our skin and eyes, to experience red light with purple at the sunrise, ideally. Then later on in the morning, to experience getting stronger UVA light. And then midday around lunch, and then afternoon, and ideally we want to see the sunset as well, to give the information to our brain that the day ended and we are entering the night, so the body produces correct hormones. So if we are doing that from mid-March regularly, we are growing this solar callus. So we are starting to produce the melanin, the pigment in our skin, which is our natural sun protection.
Is that why a lot of people in Italy are darker colored?
Because they
experience the sun all the time.
Yeah.
For example, I used to work in the fields, right?
Yeah.
When I used to live in Sardinia.
Yeah.
I would get up really early to go and would experience the sun from, maybe not from sunrise, a little bit later than that, but I would be out in the sun all day.
Yeah.
And then after maybe go for a beer or this or that, and I would experience pretty much all day. I am not a guy that tans a lot, but most of my friends are like very tan, like they're brown, caramel color.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people here are pale.
Exactly. And a lot of people, if not most, are severely vitamin D deficient. And again, this whole topic of vitamin D3 became very popular in pandemic, and people started to supplement. But no one understands that vitamin D3 levels are only a proxy marker to our sun exposure. Okay? So if we have low vitamin D3, it doesn't mean that we should supplement vitamin D3. It means that we should change our lifestyle so our body produce it. Okay. I'm not saying that we should never supplement vitamin D3. There are situations for that. But we should not rely on supplementation, and especially not from spring to early autumn, because we are making our own bodies lazy to produce own vitamin D3. To produce our own vitamin D3, we need to have a lot of fatty animal source foods. We need to have this cholesterol, and we need to have sun exposure. Then our bodies will produce vitamin D3. Going back to sun protection and Hannah and people like that, because I know a lot of people who think the same, and a lot of clients of mine, they are worried about either aging or the cancer. So of course there are groups of people who are very sensitive, like ginger hair people. They do need to take caution. They need to be really careful with the sun. But still, the rule applies here. Very gently growing the solar colors. And I'm not saying that people should scorch themselves midday for hours in June, July. No, that's not what I'm saying. It is, as from March, we should go out as much as possible starting with 5 minutes, early morning, later morning, midday, afternoon, evening, a few lots of 5 minutes for a week, then going into 10 minutes, going into 15 minutes on the regular basis. Yes.
Slowly upgrading.
And we don't always have to be in a direct sun. We do have benefits from being in the shades because they reflect the infrared wavelengths and they reach our bodies and are very good for us. So we don't have to be in a direct sun. But if someone wants to prioritize vitamin D3 production, there is something to remember, that having just our hands and face in the sun is not enough. We need to show tummy. We need to have tummy out, the back, to produce vitamin D3.
Another problem with this is that some people, if not a lot of people, to be honest, my experience, the overweight percentage here compared to Italy is much higher.
Yes.
So most people might feel uncomfortable showing their belly out and things like that.
But we've got gardens and the privacy of our gardens.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus this is again the same thing with eating foods that we don't like. If I was severely ill and if I had Jack Cruise's knowledge and understanding, and again I'm severely ill, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about anything. If I know that this will help me, I just find a place in one of the parks, as private as possible. I have my vest maybe to cover a side of my body. This is what I do basically. You could find me in different places, in different parks with tummy out. If someone will find me, you can just come and say hi. That's me.
I have so many questions up until now. I'm not going. We don't have the time to answer all of them. But one thing that I was curious about is that you have talked about hundreds of thousands years ago.
Yeah.
Human beings.
Yeah.
Up until now. So my question is, let's see if I can formulate it very well or not. My question is, these human beings have been evolving up until now to be out in the nature, but you said there was a point where we started to build cities and starting to live inside buildings. So wouldn't that be taken into consideration as well? Evolution from, let's say, 100,000 years ago to, 50,000 years ago. Yeah. they were living outside.
Yeah.
And then they started to build cities and living inside. Will these 50,000 years up until now count of living inside and our body adjusting to that kind of lifestyle?
That's not enough time.
Okay.
So have a think. We were outdoors, out in nature, touching the earth with our feet, with our hands for millions of years, right? If a person believes in evolution, we lived, not us, not we. There were animals living on the trees, and then those animals went down and started to scavenge the ground. And this is how it all started. So if you think about it, it's millions of years.
Mm-hmm.
10,000 years is nothing.
Okay. Makes sense.
It's nothing. That's one. But that's a very good question, because to find an answer to that question, we can go to anthropological findings of our ancestors and pre-ancestors, and into the health of people. For example, from Egypt, there is a lot of mummies, and they were scanned to get the data on their health, and it is clear that from more or less from around when the agriculture started, our brains started to shrink again.
Really?
Yes, where our brains were getting larger and larger and larger. They say it is because of the nutrition based on fats, animal fats.
Mm-hmm.
First scavenging, then hunting, having more and more fats in our brains, animal foods, and also the seafood, which is very good for the brain, very important. So our brains were only growing and growing and growing until about 10,000 years ago, when they started to shrink.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe before that a bit. So that's one. Second thing, when they scanned hearts of the mummies, they are showing heart disease, atherosclerosis. When they were scanning their teeth, they are showing a lot of tooth damage. So people were sick, okay, from living this modern lifestyle of civilized people. People started to become sick, and they are getting sicker and sicker.
Okay.
And sicker.
So you reckon that our pre-ancestors were healthier than we are today?
The scans of our ancestors from before are showing very strong bones, amazing teeth. These two mainly. I don't remember about the other details, but I really like lectures. Anyone can find it on YouTube by Michael Eads. Amazing, talking about that. And or Ben Dorr, anthropologist, and Ben Schindler also talks about these things, and I guess many more. Yeah.
I'll check them out 100%. Like I told you before, when I work, I've got many hours on my own, so I'll just pop my earbuds and listen to hours of podcasts.
Yeah.
Another question is, I heard you saying that we're ill. What do you mean by that? I kind of get the gist of what you're saying.
Before I would say, before I will go into more detail, what I would suggest is anyone to go out to supermarket on the busy day, let's say Saturday midday, and just look around. Then maybe watch a movie from 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s and just compare. What do you see? That's one. What will you see? You will see a lot of overweight and obese people. And in the movies from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you see much slimmer population. it doesn't mean that the people in 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, they were that much healthier than us right now. But at least this one aspect is very clear, right? The level of obesity, which everyone knows is not good for us. That's one. What else will you see? You see a lot of people being quite young and needing to use all sorts of aids, crutches, frames, orthotics, things like that, to function. What you will see, you also see the quality of movement, how people move, and the posture. And then think about, for example, some pictures of native people from Australia, maybe from beginning of 20th century. You can find pictures like that.
I would probably put some pictures
what
on
those
the...
people look like. Or, for example, Maasai, the native tribes in Africa, or Hadza. Look at them. What do they look like? They look strong. They stand straight. They've got big jaw bones, right? So, me also being physiotherapist, when I look at person, I've got this kind of auto scan in my brain. I straight away see imbalances.
Okay.
That's what I have, this skill and knowledge. So I will see straight away, excessive lordosis, excessive kyphosis, forward head, rounded shoulders, caving knees, problems with the feet, with ankles. So that's that. But then if you will look into research from US about metabolic health of people from not very long ago, I really don't remember how old is the research, a year, 2, 3 years. When they did that, they found that 93% of American population is metabolically unhealthy.
93%?
93. And I say that British population will be exactly the same, from Canada, from Australia, and the rest of the world is catching up. It's very similar everywhere right now.
Why do you think that is, though? Is it because of the way we're forced to live? Our society needs to work. We need to work 8 hours a day. And once you come back home, you really want to just have dinner and chill and watch TV. And then tomorrow morning is going to be the same. This is another question I wanted to ask. Because you said we should have taught hours of sun. But for example, a guy or a woman, for that matter, that works night shifts, a nurse or a lorry driver, that they work at night, they obviously will need to sleep in the day, which means that they will be less healthier than they should.
Working night shifts is terrible.
Yeah, so that's another question that I wanted to ask, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt, but otherwise I'll lose it because I'm very focused on listening. Everything you're saying is amazing. And yeah, so the question is, how can we as a society, as a population, do that? Because apparently it's very hard nowadays to do that, to be connected with nature. You know what I mean?
I know exactly, but there's 2 things I will touch on here, and I will start with what you said. You said we are forced.
Yeah, I said, so quote unquote forced.
Straight away, I disagree with that. We can always do something. And for example, let's say I'm a night shift worker, and I don't know, I have 2, 3 children that I need to feed and bills to pay, things like that. And I can't just change the work just like that. I can't start being a postman. I kind of wonder, why would I not be able to do that? Actually, do I have to work night shifts? Maybe in some families, maybe people have to work night shifts. But anyway, let's say I can't change job just yet. So what I can do, I can make sure that my nutrition is 100%, okay, not 100%, that's very difficult. Let's say 90%
Yeah.
spot on.
Especially
you
for
know?
a lorry driver, they're always eating on the road and
Yeah. So there's always something to do. And you asked why people are so sick. Basically because of lifestyle.
yeah.
Staying indoors, eating crap food. A lot of people thinking they are eating healthy diet, but a lot of people lack of introspection, I think is the word, where they grab a mirror and they look into the mirror and they ask a question, do I look healthy? And give an honest answer. That's one. Number two, you can look healthy, but you can be this so-called toffee, thin outside, fat inside, the hidden visceral fat that you will not see with your eyes. So for that, you would have to do the body composition scanning, DEXA, or things like that. Then also, let's say, blood tests. You can think you are healthy, but you are severely insulin resistant, getting towards diabetes type 2 and other metabolic diseases, also cancer. It's all related to insulin. It starts with insulin resistance. So if people were honest with themselves, and if people found time, because you need to have time to reflect on those things, and you need to have peace and quiet, and you think you are eating this healthy diet, but look in the mirror, check your blood work, but also ask yourself, how do you feel? Have you got any symptoms? Do you have falling hair? Do you have bad quality nails? Do you have very dry skin on your heels and breaking skin? Do you have tummy aches? Do you have gas? How are your teeth? How is your breath? How is your vision? How is your hearing? Have you got amazing memory, or you start to forget things? Have you got any aches? Have you got any pains? Can you get up in the morning and just start the day 100%, or you need 2-3 hours to warm up and to get rid of stiffness? A lot we can actually learn ourselves, and with that, most of the people would learn that actually I'm not healthy.
Can I open a bracket? What do you think about, especially this day and age, about fat positivity? I see a lot of fat positivity, especially on social media. I know you don't use a lot of social media, but there's a lot of fat positivity going on, and I'm not.
We're talking about looks, yes?
Yeah, where like someone is clearly unhealthy.
Yeah.
And they say it's fine because it's not about looks, It's called fat positivity. I don't agree with it because I think you're unhealthy, and I'm against like bullying someone.
Yes.
But I am also against being fat.
So
as well.
I think this is very good question, and this is very complex topic.
Yeah.
So, like you say, we should never judge anyone on the looks. We should never, as a person, we should never bully someone or be not nice to them because of the looks, whatever it is. But if we think about health, things are even more complicated and complex, because there is a small percentage within an overweight group, very small percentage, that can be metabolically healthy. So you can have a person that is a little bit rounder, if I can use that expression, and actually this person is healthy. So we've got that. There is also another aspect here, which is the looks. There is a quote about. Oh, you have to cut it.
It's fine.
Because it's a very good quote. Okay, no, I won't remember now.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the less you remember. It will come to you.
It is about that different people like different things,
Yeah.
right? So I would not look into that because that's a completely different topic. But if it comes to health, it is clear that being overweight or obese is not healthy. It will shorten the health span and lifespan, and most likely it will be related to suffering from a disease. And the worst thing is that young people, they still have fairly fresh bodies, so they might not suffer as much. But the minute they will go into 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, if they're lucky, they will be suffering, because I see that with my clients.
Makes sense.
Gustum non disputandum, something like that is the quote.
Oh, in Latin, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, gustum non disputandum. It is what you say, like you can, if you got this taste, you have this taste, you can. It's subjective, right? Like you.
And there's another aspect, which is acceptance. So let's say someone is, or let's say I am overweight. Before I will change anything, or I will even think about changing anything, first of all, what I need to do, I need to love and accept myself the way I am. I need to see the truth of,
The problem I have with that, personally, is that, going back to what you said earlier, is that someone should grab a mirror and do all these things that you said, like, do I look healthy? Do I feel healthy? All these things that you said just a few minutes ago. The problem I have is that some people, I think they're not true. They're not saying the truth to themselves.
Yes, this is exactly what I meant.
Yeah, and because of the social media and all the movements that are going on right now, that have been going on for a few years now, about this fat positivity. It's okay to be fat, is this and that.
Why wouldn't be? Everything is okay.
Yeah, but it's not though. Like, you just proven it why as well.
But this is what everyone needs to discover for themselves. And I think we can only do that through honesty, being honest with ourselves.
So you basically agreeing with me, because if the person, and you're not, but you are, in the sense that if the person is not true with themselves, but they say they are okay with that, does it make sense what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So if you're fat and you say I'm okay with that, but you're actually not, then you're lying to yourself, and you're not being truth and honest.
There is another
with yourself.
aspect, which is, okay, maybe you are okay with the fact that you are 150 kilograms, but are you okay with that gives you far more chance to have loads of health problems, and your wife, your partner, your mom, your son will have to look after you, will have to take you to hospitals and, I don't know, help in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Which, of course, even being healthy, there is a risk of that anyway. And this is why we've got each other, we've got family and friends to help each other in those moments.
Yeah.
But my thinking is, I want to be as healthy as long as I can for my family as well.
Yeah.
Not only that I want to give a good example that it can be done, but also to give ourselves, my family, as good chance for me to have independent life when I am older and to need as little help, plus to suffer as little as possible. Because when we are in okay state, we don't think about sickness and illness. But when we are sick, we suffer.
And we make others suffer too.
Yeah.
Because people that care about us will be suffering because of our suffering.
I see that a lot at work. I see a lot of suffering.
Well, with themselves?
Yeah,
or
everything.
Just in general?
Themselves, family members.
Can you explain what you do in more detail? Obviously, we understand by now, but let's say I'm your client.
Yeah.
And I come to you for some help. I'm a
Yeah.
little bit overweight and I don't know what to do. How do we start?
So when someone comes to me, first of all, is we have discussion. I try to get to know the person a little bit.
Sure.
This is really important. Befriend the person. Open myself for people to gain trust, to get to know me, for me to get the person. And then we talk about the issues, the problems. Not everyone wants to lose weight, but I think most of people do. Someone might come with just aches and pains. I've got this shoulder problem or lower back problem or any other problem. So we talk about the problems and then we discuss the whys. Why a client would want to change that. What is driving them? Why they want to change? Let's say, for example, to feel better, not to experience pains, aches, or to look better, or to lose some of the weight, to be able to do things with grandchildren or with a partner, going up to mountains, going for walks, being independent. So we talk about the whys, and then I need to also assess things. So if, for example, someone has aches or pains, what I do my assessments, physical assessments. I look for muscle imbalances or movement pattern imbalances. And then we come up with the plan, with a program of things to do. And they would involve, they can involve, depending on the problem, stretches, exercises specific for the person and specific for the problem.
Yes.
So individually designed exercises and also for where they are at right now. So I would not ask a 70-year-old woman to lift 100 kilograms barbells, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So we can talk about exercises, we talk usually about nutrition. This is very important. Even if the person doesn't want to lose weight, even if the person just comes with aches and pains. I will give you an example. I have a lot of people, especially women, who are just weak. Basically, they are just weak. But they have for breakfast cereal bars, they will have for breakfast Weetabix, they will have for breakfast a slice of toast or nothing, or yogurt with fruit or a few nuts or porridge, things like that. No protein whatsoever. So this is, for those people, this is where we talk about why protein, why animal foods are important for muscle health, ligaments, tendons, from that bones as well, the connective tissue, the skin, the hair, the nails, everything. So we talk about nutrition, and I try to find a right approach. Actually, is us together with my suggestions, let's say, find the right approach for the person at the time. So most people can't just suddenly, bam, go as from tomorrow and start ketogenic diet. And
it has to be a slow.
Yeah. So the pace, we are discussing the pace of changes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be gentle and delicate with that.
Yeah.
I'm not for cold turkey changes.
I see what you mean.
I'm not. So we talk exercises, we talk nutrition, and then we talk other lifestyle choices, sun exposure, circadian rhythms, not looking into screens in the evening and seeing this blue light in the evening that is hitting our eyes and then our brains and is telling our brain that it's noon. From that, our bodies will not release nighttime restorative hormones. So we are already messing our sleep, right? So we'll be talking about that. Grounding, which is barefoot walking, touching the earth with bare feet. We can be talking about grounding. We can talk about other things depending on where people are. So, for example, for an athlete, for someone who's really serious about physical performance, we can talk about cold exposure. This is something that I started to do this week. I officially opened the cold season, the cold adaptation. So I do, for the last 5 years, I do regular cold plunging in my garden. I've got a bath.
I've been talking to Professor Pat. He said this about you, and I was like, whoa.
Yes.
We can.
And I don't do 2-3 minutes. I do Jack Kruse's protocol, which is to make your body adapt to cold, to come in winter with water 10 degrees Celsius. I stay in water for 45 minutes.
At 10 degrees,
Yes.
10 degrees
Yes.
Celsius.
Yes.
So it's not below zero.
Water can't be below zero.
Sorry, normally it's 2-3 degrees actually, right?
The lowest I had was 0.3 or 0.5.
Zero.
Close to
So
zero.
not even 3 degrees,
Yes,
0.3.
yes. That was the
close to
coldest.
freezing.
In this temperature, I don't stay 45 minutes.
I thought so.
because I would die. So with this temperature, it will be a few minutes only. So I've got a little calculator. I produced it myself. It's based on hypothermia data. I just did my calculations. I've got it somewhere at home. So depending on the temperature, I've got length of session calculated.
Can this be found online if people want to? Can I put a little picture of this chart, or you created this?
So I can send you later, if you remind me. I can send you a chart that I base this whole thing on, and I'll explain you how I calculated it. And I don't know if it's right or wrong. This is just my calculation for myself.
Okay, I still will put it on the screen so can people.
Yeah, but let me explain what is about there. So on this chart, there will be temperature, and there will be I think mild hypothermia or time that it's okay to be in this temperature, and then there is a line with when the hypothermia starts for this temperature. So for example, in this chart it says that at 10 degrees Celsius the middle chart will show let's say 30 minutes to 60 minutes, where in Jack Kruse's protocol, he talks about 45 minutes. So from this middle chart, I take the 100% and I take 75%. When you said you understand. So it says from 0 to 60 minutes. So I take the 45 minutes. So this is how I calculate the rest of the temperatures. Let's say the temperature 0.5 Celsius in the middle chart will be, let's say, 15 minutes. So I take 75%, 12 minutes.
Okay.
I'll show you.
12 minutes off that 15 minutes, or are you staying 12 minutes?
12 minutes I'll be staying in the water of that temperature.
To not get hypothermia.
I get mild hypothermia.
Okay.
And
how does this help the body?
This is so the 45 minutes at 10 degrees, this is not something that I do on a daily basis. This is only a goal to switch certain mechanisms in my body. Why 45 minutes at 10 degrees? We've got receptors in our body that they react to that temperature. We have to go as low as 10 degrees to activate them. That's why 10 degrees. So that's one. And why 45 minutes? To be honest with you, I don't know exactly. I'm sure that on Jack Kruse's protocols, we could find that. But my thinking, my understanding is, if we lived 100,000 years ago and we would stay outdoors, we would experience 10 degrees 24 hours, right? Our skin would experience that whole day and night. So our bodies were constantly receiving this information that it's 10 degrees, and our bodies internally will change things to act accordingly to temperature, to produce, for example, more heat, to warm us up from inside. Also to, for example, release stored vitamin D3. That's what cold thermogenesis is doing. There is fantastic research from actually Poland from about 2 months ago, where they took women with multiple sclerosis and they were doing cold plunges, and their vitamin D3 levels went significantly up. What else is this cold thermogenesis doing? Also, what it's doing, when we are out in the sun in summer, we are receiving sun exposure, sunlight, the electrons, the temperature, electromagnetic field, and it's going into our bodies, into our mitochondria. In winter, through cold thermogenesis, we are releasing on micro scale UV light inside of our bodies
to warm us up
and to do other things, to run other processes.
Okay.
We basically need light. That's just, to me, it's miraculous how our bodies work. So why 45 minutes? My thinking is, because what you could do instead of cold plunges, you could just go out in winter and have minimum clothing. But to truly let your body know what season it is, you would have to be out 24 hours.
Okay.
And we are not outside 24 hours. And if we do cold plunge, the water in comparison to air, it's doing the same thing times 25.
Okay, so 45 minutes times 25 is...
Right?
Okay.
So I think that's why.
Okay.
I think that's but I came up with it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
would there be a way for it to be proven, like this method? Because it's really interesting.
I think it'll be very difficult and expensive.
Anyone out there that's listening to this, if you can make this up and for us,
this whole proving things business is a very difficult business.
Okay.
Native people in Amazon, they don't need any science and they don't need any proofs to know what to do and how to live. So I think what the best thing to do is to just try yourself. Although with cold thermogenesis and sun exposure, you have to have some knowledge or some guidance or understanding not to do things wrong, because you can mess this up.
Yeah.
And you have to be safe. So that's a little bit complicated here. But if you get some guidance or education or someone helping you, you can just try for yourself, give it a season, give it a year, and see for yourself.
Yeah.
People with, for example, with depression, with all sorts of problems, they feel so much better with cold thermogenesis, although at the time it feels horrible.
Yeah. So
going back to this cold adaptation to the 45 minutes, first few weeks, let's say now beginning of October, I'll be doing 3-4 sessions per week, ideally 4 sessions per week. and the water is still warm now. It's about 15 degrees. So I'll be waiting for the temperature of the water to go down to 10 degrees. And then I will do 1 or 2 maybe sessions per week of 45 minutes to switch that button in my brain. It's winter now, okay? And from then on, my body, for example, will start to produce again brown fat, the fat that is responsible for controlling our body temperature. Most of grown-ups, they lost brown fat. What also people use called thermogenesis for Jack Kruse did that himself, is to actually burn body fat.
Would this work in a shower? If you lower it, if you use cold
shower
water?
Is better than nothing,
Yeah.
but shower is very unpleasant. Everyone who tried showers and then they started cold thermogenesis, they say exactly, shower is just unpleasant. There's this running water hitting your skin all the time. It's unpleasant and it's not as beneficial, but it still is beneficial, for example, mentally, because if you give yourself a task, okay, I will have a cold shower every day for the next 3 months, and this is something you planned for yourself to do, and you actually do it, you are training yourself you are hardening your mind, you know.
I tried, but it's really hard for me.
It is.
It's really hard.
That's the point. That's the point. So yes, shower can be beneficial somewhat, but not as much as cold thermogenesis.
What about the bath? If you fill up the bath with the cold
That
water?
would be a lot of water.
Yeah, right. Instead of
Right.
the plunge where you can just
Because you fill up your plunge, and I've got water with 1 tablet of chloride. I'm not sure that's necessary. For about a month, maybe 6 weeks, and then I replace the water.
Makes sense. I was just trying to look for, excuses to do it. You know what I mean? I haven't got a cold plunge. What can I do? Shower?
We love
No,
excuses.
both. Yeah. No, I'm trying to eliminate them. That's why I asked you if you can do shower, if you can do bath.
You know, let me tell you how I do it and how I started with showers. I started with showers. With showers, how I started. I go in, I have my shower, and then I turn the water not extremely cold, not the max cold, but let's say quite cold. And I just start with feet.
Yeah.
I will shower my feet, then to knee level, then the second leg, then hands to elbow level. Then I go back to the leg, again foot to knee level and to the hip level. Second leg, then arm to shoulder, second arm. And then the third round, I will just go again the whole leg front, whole leg back, the butt, the tummy, the chest. And then always the worst is here, the back, shoulders, and the neck. This is the worst.
For me, it's this
The
part.
chest.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't. Yeah.
What other people do, they don't do any of that. They just put their shower head high up, and they just go in and they just power through it and use breath techniques.
Yeah, it's the breathing, because you can't breathe. Why is that? You can't breathe. Do you know the reason why you can't breathe?
It could be related to dive effect. Yeah, I think that's that. So when you do the cold plunge, the worst are first 30 to 60 seconds. I would say the worst are first 30 seconds. This is where, when I do the cold plunge, I just go into the tub, I put the towel to the side, and I just go in. That's it. And then you have to breathe deeply for the first 30 seconds, but it helps massively. And then the breath comes down. If you did 1 minute, you will do the rest. The rest is easy.
How is the breathing exercise? Is nose through and then mouth out, or whatever you want?
In the plunge?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just
exactly.
go like that? Or?
I think it would be very difficult to breathe through nose in the first 60 seconds.
Makes sense. Yeah.
What I know is you should avoid doing Wim Hof type exercises while you are in the bathtub, especially if you are on your own.
What is this?
Wim Hof exercises are you do, let's say, 3 rounds of very extremely deep breath in, extremely. Breathe out everything, and you do that 30 times. After the third breath, you breathe all the air out, all of it, all, and you block, you stop, and you just hold until you have to take the breath again. And you do, you of course should not start with 30 breaths and 3 rounds straight away. This is the ultimate kind of a goal. So you should not do that while being in a cold plunge, because you might just lose consciousness, or I don't know. It's just not safe. It wouldn't be safe.
It makes sense. One more question. Can you feel the difference since you've started doing all this in your personal life?
Yes.
So in winter, can you feel like your body changing?
Yeah.
Can you explain this feeling?
So, oh my God, it's amazing. So always in winter, I was extremely cold, like everyone. So I understand people, you would want to have layers on, the hat, the scarf, the gloves, everything. Now right now we had few days last week when it was pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it does? It brings excitement to me. Seriously. It's weird. I don't know whether you remember when you were a child, I don't know whether you had proper winters in Italy, but in Poland we did. I feel like a child that found out that can go out into the snow to play with mates. You are excited. You are excited to feel this. And when you are out there, this crisp air, this cold temperature, it gives you excitement. So this is what I feel. I don't dress as much anymore. 100%. My body is heating me up from inside. I upped my brown fat 100% because I just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as cold. I don't need as many clothes. I feel better. And if it comes to other things that I do in my life, the sun exposure, the correct nutrition, correct exercises, a lot of health problems that I had, they just disappeared.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I had the same feeling last week for some reason. I do enjoy a little bit of cold. Like I said, I'm not too much of a heat person, although I'm Italian. Yeah. Everyone says, "Are you sure you're Italian?" Yes, I am. But I do like that little bit of cold. I don't know. It makes me sleep better.
Yes. We always sleep better in lower temperatures. So we should not have... I know that it's quite unpleasant to go to bed to sleep with cold feet and feeling cold. That's not a great feeling. But this is this is what happens to people who are not cold adopted. This is what they feel every evening if they don't put the heating on. That's why they have to put the heating on. That's why they have to have the thermal bag that they put in the bed, things like that. But if you are cold adopted, it's fine to put the socks on for the first, 1 hour of the sleep, because then you will just warm up and you will automatically take the socks off. But it's better to have cooler air and cooler bedroom for better sleep.
Yeah. In winter, what I do is before I go to bed, for 10 minutes, I open the window, let some cool air in, and I sleep with my underwears only, and I just cover up with a duvet, and because we sleep with a partner, there's the heat that we generate is exactly, fine. Like there's cold outside, but inside the duvet, we're fine. Like
another benefit of being cold adopted is saving on bills.
Oh yeah,
because you don't have to put this heating up so high. Your room is not at 21, which is to me is I would be dying in this temperature. Seriously. For me, optimum is 16 to 18, where 18 is warm.
Yeah, you see, I'm talking too much about my partner today, but it's because I'm comparing. I'm fine with 18. I'm like t-shirt and shorts, and she's cool. She's all wrapped up.
So this is what I'm trying to explain here. You can train all that. You can really make it better.
Yeah. I believe it, because if I can, that's my question. And some people might say, yeah, but she's a woman, different genetics, different body types. But
always ask yourself, 100,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, did it matter? No. If anything, women would have more fat on them, so they should deal better with cold.
Instead of being...
If anything. Because I remember when I got pregnant with my first child, I did put 4 stone on. And I remember that I couldn't be in winter in hot rooms anymore, because I was just boiling. And then when I lost this excess fat and I became very slim again, this is when I felt the difference. I was like, oh, okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so if anything, women have advantage of more fat tissue.
I'm going to put this in her face next time she complains about the heating. Thanks for that. A few more minutes if you want to carry on.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're happy, I'm sure you still have tons of things to talk about, so we can do this again.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm trying to keep like a time limit. I just want to ask you about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
How do you start? Why did you start? What do you think about it? Are you gonna be carrying on for a long time?
That's a great question. How did I start it? I had teenage boys, and I felt they were at the time, oh my God, around, let's say 14 years old. It was, I don't remember exactly. And there were some behavior issues, let's call it that. And I was looking for advice. And the advice was it would be good for boys to do something like martial arts because of many reasons. That was advised. Plus, when they were little, they were doing jiu-jitsu. And I thought it's a great idea. So this is how it started. I signed my boys up first.
Mm-hmm.
Then my daughter, who was 6 years old at the time, I believe, she started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then whenever I was taking kids to different classes throughout the last nearly 20 years, I was the parent that often would do my own exercises somewhere in the corner.
Yeah.
I would not be this parent sitting on the phone. If anything, I would read a book. So I just have this drive to move, and I know it's healthy for me, and I like to move. I love to move my body. Let me quickly go back to the health thing.
Yeah.
Also, one of the big differences that I feel now, it's this amazing energy inside of my body, the lightness of movements, the smoothness of my joints, no aches, no pains. Some people believe in this chi, the energy going through our bodies. It's just flowing freely. It's amazing feeling. So going back to movement and jiu-jitsu, I like movement, and it just occurred to me to join as well. So why I do it right now, I do jiu-jitsu, it will be 1.5 years, I think. I don't really like it.
You don't really like it?
I don't. It's very difficult for me.
What is the difficult part? Because we trained a few times. You're really strong. You are very flexible, and just what don't you like of it?
The techniques are difficult. So I do jiu-jitsu only once per week. So my boys, when they started, sometimes they were doing jiu-jitsu 5 times per week.
Mm-hmm.
So in much shorter period, they learned far more than me in 1.5 years going there once per week, if that, because there is many months that I will go only twice per month. When when I go to Poland for a month in summer or winter. So when we are doing drilling, right, we are training techniques, and it's like chess. You need to do this, and that, and there's, let's say, 10 to 20 different little parts to perform the whole move.
Yep.
When then we row, I never remember a thing.
But that's
Never.
That comes to time on the mat.
Right now, it didn't come. It haven't come to me just yet.
No, in terms of you training once per week, right? So if today you train an armbar, right? Next week you do a shoulder lock or whatever.
Yeah.
You already kind of forgot the armbar.
Yeah.
So by the time you're rolling, and you might need it because the position is available for you to do the armbar, you're like, okay, how do I do it? But if you do this 3 times a week, which is average,
Yeah.
and you get to do the armbar 3 times this week, because you did it on Monday, so on Wednesday I'm gonna try it again, and then Friday I'm gonna try it again. That's
but
what I mean.
But I'm not doing that. I'm not training 3 times
Yeah,
per week,
that's
and
what
I
I mean,
will
yeah.
not, because I'm doing climbing. This is my favorite sport. And to be honest with you, I already struggle to find time to do climbing twice per week. 3 children, work, and other chores. It's really difficult. So I already do only, if that, climbing twice per week. So I know I will not have time to do jiu-jitsu twice per week.
Yeah.
I am trying now to join the open mats on Saturdays.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
so I will try for that.
Yeah.
And yes, kids say, "Oh, we can practice at home." Yes, tell me when. I have chores.
Yeah, of course.
So why I do it? I do it because it's a challenge to me. Andrew Huberman, he's got great podcast about, I can't remember whether it is about dementia or what exactly, but in this podcast, he's talking about this part of the brain, I can't remember which one, that we need to stimulate it to have better chances not to have dementia or Alzheimer's, and we can stimulate it only through challenge. That's why cold thermogenesis is very good for that, because cold plunges or cold showers, they are stimulating that part of the brain. Or for me as well, jiu-jitsu is this thing, because what he says it's supposed to be challenge, and it's good if you are dreading to do it. If you're like, oh, I really don't feel like to do it, I really don't want to do it.
So you're basically getting out of your comfort zone? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. And you are facing your own weaknesses. So you have to have that feeling. And then he says the task can't be too difficult. For example, signing up to dancing lessons or signing up to learn Chinese. It can't be too difficult, because if it's too difficult, you will just stop.
Yeah.
But he says also it can't be too easy. So, for example, you have the elderly in their 70s going to the gym twice per week to have benefits like that, but they are only using every single session half kilo or 1 kilo dumbbells.
Yeah.
And there is no challenge there. And they're just like, just waving arms in the air. No, that's not what is activating this part of the brain. It must be challenging. And he says for about 30 minutes, to be able to do the task for about 30 minutes. Of course, depending on the task, it will be different timings. So going back to jiu-jitsu, this is why I do jiu-jitsu, because it's a challenge for me, because I kind of don't like to do it, don't want to do it. Yes.
You're the first person that I hear saying this about jiu-jitsu. Everyone loves it, but fair play for everything you do.
And the final thing why I like it and why I also do it is the community. I really like this whole community there for all people, all ages. So I'm including the children, the whole families doing it with parents is amazing role modeling for those children. The same things in climbing.
Mm-hmm.
So the community is also something that I really enjoy.
Yeah. For climbing, by the way, I've been invited by Lucas to come with you guys, so
Yes,
I will definitely come and give it a try. I'm trying to convince her as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if she will, but I am definitely keen to try.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
I've never tried it. I'm kind of scared of heights a little bit.
We all are.
But it's a primal fear, right? But
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that because, yeah, I just want to try it. One last thing, what would you say to someone that is looking to change their life? So just give one final sentence, one final testament to convince them to change their life.
I won't. I will tell you why. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. And I work with people long enough to see that the biggest problem in this getting better process is people themselves. It's what they've got there. If someone is not open, if someone is stuck in their ways, if someone knows everything already out there in the world, I know how to do things. If someone is don't care, the person believes that he or she doesn't care, which is never true. This is what you think is true, but it's not. I don't care. I don't mind. If the person doesn't want to see the truth of themselves, their lives, what's around, no one will ever change anything. In my practice, it is not the biggest challenge to overcome the physical body, muscles, fat tissue, organs, whatnot, problems. No, it is the mind. It is the person himself or herself. What did I say? I would say question everything. Start to question every single belief you've got on any topic, on nutrition, on religion, on politics, on finances, on education, on your friendships, relationships. Do the experiment and question one thing that you believe is true per day or per week, and spend 5 minutes trying to either look for answers, ideally not in your phone. Maybe start to just think about it. Why do I think this is true? Why do I think that cholesterol is bad for me? Is it really? Find out. I think this is where it needs to start. Maybe also starting with admitting that yes, I have problems. Yes, I have health problems. Yes, I have this or that relationship problems. Yes, I have financial problems. Seeing that yes, I have this problem. Maybe that too. Question everything. And the third very important one. You need to be open for a different than yours perspective. If you are not, you will never learn anything. If you think that you know everything already, yes, cholesterol is bad for me. Yes, if I eat fish, it gives me headache. So it's no good for me, for example. Or yes, the sun is bad for me. I'll have cancer if I go out. If you know already everything, then I don't think anyone can help you. So be curious, question everything, be open-minded, and be truthful. Be truth to yourself. Yeah.
That's right. You said, I won't want to ask you the question because you said there's no answer, but you gave me a beautiful answer, and I think it comprehended everything I needed to know. Would you like to say for people how to find you if they want to work with you, if they want to work on themselves? I will put your website in the link
The website is not live, so maybe you cut right now this question, you cut it off, and maybe for the next one I will have it live.
What do you mean live? There's no need to cut.
I don't have a website live on internet yet. It's still in process. It's still in the workings.
But at least people can see what you do, no?
No, they can't access it. They would only be able to access it if I send them the link.
Do you have an email that I can put on the link, maybe, if they want to?
So potentially, probably, hopefully, I would have it for the next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no.
Right now,
it's paused. There's no need to cut anything. I want it to be genuine, so there's no need to cut. But if people want to find you, they'll have to wait.
Yes. Exactly.
But can I have you another time in the future? Because I'm, like I said, I'm sure there's many things we can still talk about, and I'm sure you have so many more informations about this stuff. So we can do like a round 2. Maybe your website is going to be open by then.
Hopefully, yes. Though the plan is to finally tackle it.
And actually, if you have it soon, whenever, just let me know, and I will put it in the link in the future. But thank you so much for today. It's been one of the best episodes for me so far. No saying any. All the guests I had, they were wonderful, but this has been very.
Like it's different.
Eye-opening as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, so really good. Thank you for being here, Pat.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
Bye.